The first time Sarah slipped a loaf of bread into her coat, her hands shook so badly she thought the whole store could hear her heartbeat. Outside, winter pressed against the windows of the small grocery in Ohio, turning the street gray and quiet. Inside, fluorescent lights hummed over clean aisles and tidy shelves, a place where rules were written and watched. Sarah knew the rule she was breaking. She also knew the faces waiting for her after sunset, the ones that had learned to be hungry without complaining. Hunger had a sound to it, a low ache that filled the chest. She carried that sound with her every day, and it followed her now, louder than fear. Before the story pulls you deeper, take a moment right now. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and quiet goodness that the world rarely sees, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that are hurting. Sarah worked part-time at the store, stacking cans and mopping floors after school hours. She was 19, thin from long days and longer nights, and she lived with her aunt in a worn apartment across town. Every afternoon, when her shift ended, she walked past a vacant lot where a handful of children gathered near a boarded-up community center. They were not related by blood, but by circumstance. Their parents worked multiple jobs or had vanished into systems that did not notice the cracks. The kids shared crayons with broken tips and played games that needed no equipment. When Sarah first brought them apples she bought with her own money, the relief on their faces hit her like a wave. Soon apples were not enough. The struggle tightened when hours at the store were cut. Rent did not care about good intentions. Sarah tried food banks and odd jobs, but the need she saw every evening did not wait for payday. She told herself she would take only what the store could spare, bread nearing its sell-by date, bruised fruit, a dented can or two. Each time, she promised it would be the last. Each time, she remembered small hands reaching out, not begging, just trusting. The risk felt enormous, but the alternative felt unbearable. The store owner, Michael Harper, was known around town as strict but fair. He had built the place with savings and sweat after leaving the service, and he ran it like a ship in rough waters. Losses had been creeping up, and he noticed. Inventory did not lie. He checked cameras late at night, the glow of the monitor painting his office in cold blue. Patterns emerged, subtle at first, then unmistakable. A familiar figure moved with practiced care, choosing items, glancing toward the aisles, slipping them away. Michael felt anger rise, sharp and immediate, followed by disappointment. Theft was theft, no matter the reason. As weeks passed, Sarah felt the weight of being seen even when she was not. Every beep of the register sounded louder. Every shadow felt like a witness. She kept going because the children kept waiting. She taught them to wash fruit in a cracked sink and to share evenly. She learned their names and their small fears. Grace had a cough that lingered. Thomas pretended not to be hungry so the younger ones could eat first. Rebecca loved to count, lining peas into neat rows before swallowing them. In those moments, Sarah forgot the store, the cameras, the rules. She felt useful, necessary, alive. The day everything changed came with freezing rain that turned sidewalks slick. Michael decided to confront the theft after closing. He stayed late, heart heavy, rehearsing what he would say. When Sarah finished her shift, she did not go home. She went to the vacant lot, sheltering the children under an awning where the wind cut through coats too thin for the season. Michael followed from a distance, confusion replacing anger with each step. He watched as Sarah unpacked her coat, laying out food like a careful ceremony. He watched. The children eat slowly, gratefully, without chaos or greed. The scene did not match the crime he had imagined. Standing there, Michael felt the hard lines of certainty soften. He saw the math Sarah had been doing in her head, the impossible equation of limited money and unlimited need. He also saw the risk she had taken, not for herself, but for others. The law was clear. So was his responsibility as a business owner. Yet something older stirred in him, a memory of his own childhood when neighbors had quietly left bags of groceries on his mother's porch without asking for thanks. Michael did not announce himself. He went home and did not sleep. By morning, he had made a decision that would ripple far beyond his store. When Sarah arrived for her shift, the air felt different. She expected the worst. Instead, Michael asked her to sit, and he listened. He listened to the story of the vacant lot, the children, the nights of counting coins, the choice between rules and relief. Sarah did not excuse herself. She accepted the consequences she believed were coming. The consequences surprised them both. Michael could not ignore what had happened, but he refused to let it end there. He arranged a plan that protected the store and multiplied the good. Near-expiry food would be donated properly through a local shelter partnered with the city, ensuring safety and legality. The vacant lot would not remain a forgotten space. Michael owned a small warehouse he no longer used, and he offered it as a temporary community kitchen with supervision. Sarah would help coordinate, not as a thief but as a paid assistant, accountable and supported. The store would host a weekly drive, and Michael would match donations quietly. Change did not arrive all at once. Paperwork took time. Trust had to be rebuilt. Sarah worked harder than she ever had, determined to prove that mercy had not been misplaced. The children moved from the cold awning to a warm room with tables and light. Volunteers showed up. Grace's cough eased. Thomas learned to read labels. Rebecca kept counting, now with notebooks and pencils donated by a retired teacher who lived down the block. The town noticed, not because of a headline, but because kindness has a way of spreading without permission. People brought what they could. A baker dropped off bread at dawn. A mechanic fixed the heater. Michael watched from the edges, humbled by how small decisions could unlock bigger ones. He learned that protecting a business did not have to mean hardening a heart. Sarah learned that asking for help could be an act of courage, not failure. As the seasons turned, the grocery store did better, not worse. Customers trusted it. Losses fell. Something about transparency and care had steadied the ship. Sarah enrolled in community college at night, studying social work, carrying with her the lessons of hunger and hope. The vacant lot sprouted a mural painted by the children, bright colors against old brick. A promise made visible. If this story touched your heart, please take a second now to like the video, share it, and subscribe. Your engagement helps keep these stories alive and reaching people who need them most. Before the ending, we have a special request for you. Please comment the word kindness below if you believe one good choice can change many lives. On a cold evening, much like the first, Sarah walked past the store, hands no longer shaking. She carried a clipboard instead of a coat full of stolen food, and the ache in her chest had softened into purpose. Michael locked up behind her, the lights clicking off one by one. In a country as vast as the United States, it is easy to feel invisible, to believe that small acts do not matter. This story whispers the opposite. It says that rules matter, but so do people. It says that when someone risks everything to feed a child, the world can answer back with a second chance.